earlier in the year when you're winning games, there still was an issue with the rebounding. What do you think was different tonight?
Tonight, I feel like that's a good question. I feel like it's different every game because, some teams shoot a lot, so some games it could be long rebounds. Sometimes, there's just an extra emphasis on guys going to the glass. So I feel like today, I just feel like, honestly, as a team, as a collective, we really focused on that aspect of the game coming in. Last year, I watched the film, and it seemed like we got out-rebounded playing them. So I feel like Coach really wanted to put an extra emphasis on it, and I feel like we just executed it really well on the defensive end and the boards in general.
What can you say about how this offense may not be going well, but this team's knack for grinding it out just on defense?
Yeah, playing for someone like Bobby, who's just tough-minded and just a competitor in general, he always preaches to us, like, you can't depend on scoring, and you can't look at scoring as something to, like, judge whether you played good or not. So I feel like we all just want to win, and to win, we got to play defense. Defense wins championships. So I feel like we're just following the blueprint that Bobby planned for us.
To that point, you had the dive on the floor that Bobby said was a key point in the game. What's it like when you see, you're doing that, other your teammates are doing that kind of stuff? What is it like?
It's actually pretty funny because, like, every time there's a loose ball in practice, like, it'll be you mishandle in the drill, like, everybody just dives on it. It's just a good habit we like to do every day, and I feel like it carries over to the games. So, I just feel like that's just part of our dog and just our identity as a team. So I love it.
You guys keeping stats on that?
No, we don't. Actually, we don't. That's good. That's a good little point, though. We should probably do that. That'd be fun.
It seems like in the first half especially, you guys were really locked in on defense. Just what was working so well in the first half especially?
I feel like we just did a good job of containing some of the key players. Ingram had a solid game. I feel like we did a good job of just containing him in the first half. Other guys, too. I just feel like we were just everywhere, flying everywhere. And the guards did a great job of switching and just doing the game plan that Coach put forward for us.
Bobby mentioned that you guys are playing with desperation here early on in the season. It's a long season. How do you keep that desperation going throughout the Pac-12?
Well, you just got to take one game at a time. You can't think about the last win. You can't think about the last loss. It's got to be 50-50. Whether you win or lose, you got to stay balanced, and you got to go into the next game free-minded and not thinking about anything and just thinking about winning that game.
You've seen Desmond do some things that he did tonight quite a bit. And what is it about him, his personality or the alpha thing?
I love playing with Dev. I've gotten the privilege to play with Dez for like 4 years or something like that. So I actually knew what to expect with Dev, but it's just refreshing playing with someone like him because he does a little bit of everything and he just wants to win, like I've been saying. So.
I meant Desmond, though, like just the shooting that he's provided.
Oh, you talking about Desmond?
Yeah.
My fault. Desmond. My fault. I thought I heard that, but yeah, Des. Like we all know what Des brings to the table. He's a scorer. He's a dog. He's an alpha, and I feel like we follow him as a group and as a team. We follow that, and I feel like it carries over just with all of us, and it rubs off.
Does that really help the chemistry of the team because you have a lot of players in the transfer portal, but
Yep.
you know Des really well, you know Dev even pretty well. I mean, did they kind of help like the chemistry come together maybe faster than people think it would?
Most definitely, and I feel like it's credit to Coach Hurley too because he found the right pieces and he knew what he wanted coming into this offseason and what he wanted to work on, and he brought in us, and the rest is history. So. Yeah.
Desmond Cambridge Jr.'s joining us. Continued questions.
This one's for both of you guys. As the league got up to 13 at one point, Stanford even got a 1-point advantage down the stretch. Was there any sort of panic within the team?
Personally, no, because I feel like it's a game of runs, and they were going to go on a run regardless. We just had to weather the storm, and I feel like we did that a little bit later on. And I expected it's a game of runs, and we just got to do our best to contain when they come on the run. So I thought we did a good job of that later on in the second half.
That being said, like you're saying later in the second half, but even when they made the run, did you feel offensively, as the first half went on, even in the second half, that they're getting more and more frustrated with your guys' overall team defense?
You want me to answer that? I just feel like we had like when they started making a run, we had a couple of hiccups on offense, and I feel like we were just kind of lost, and we just had to come back as a unit and just calm down and relax because like you guys said, we have a bunch of transfers, new guys, and you know, situations like that are perfect for us because we got to learn how to build and work on stuff that we need to work on. So I felt like that was just a good learning experience.
Devin, in a game like that, do you feel like, okay, we need to start getting some offense here, and there's like almost like a takeover mentality that happens with that?
I mean, it definitely situational. So I got those first 2 fouls at the start of the second half, so I was watching a lot of their comeback. And so I'm just sitting there fuming on the bench, you know, like, you see I'm very energized. So, you know, I felt like we need a little spark. And so, you know, I came in, hit those 2 shots. And especially if I'm hitting shots, I can, you know, bring us together, just give us a spark. Because we're going to play defense, you know, consistently. But if your shot's not falling on offense, it can really, you know, take a toll mentally. And you might have some lapses on defense just because you're not playing as well on offense.
So because you hit that winning shot in Colorado just a few nights ago, did you come in with more confidence, or are you just the type of guy that just like flushes that away? It's a new game, doesn't matter.
I definitely used to be a guy who, but you know, I've been doing this for a long time. This is my 6th year in college, so you know, you got to stay poised. You never get too high, never get too low, and we're just here to win games consistently. Figure out a way to win, because if we win, everyone on our team is going to reap the benefits. So that has been my thing since I got here. So.
You guys, before the season began, you said that you just felt like this team that was their year, given everything that they had gone through these past couple of seasons. Given the early success, how has that sort of reinforced your mindset and I guess your vision for where this team can go?
I just feel like it speaks to the guys that we got on our team because coming in, we got a lot of talented players, a lot of guys who could put the ball in the rim and the hole, and I just feel like it goes to show the unselfishness and the fact that we could play a role because, you know, a lot of guys are out here trying to get their stats and all that, but we're out here trying to get wins. That's all it is.
You guys have managed to start 2-0 in the Pac-12 despite, I think it's 9 for 49 from 3. Is that a concern at all, changing shot selection, or is it something where, hey, when we heat up, then we'll be really scared?
Man, that's a hard question for me personally because I might shoot some questionable shots sometimes. But I feel like that's Coach Hurley's, you know, just identity that he's had at this school. You know, guard you. You know, I definitely like that. I'm a guard, so. But at the end of the day, as long as we play defense, I feel like we definitely, even though we have freedom, there's still structure in the offense, and you have to, you know, if different people have different leashes. So you just have to know the flow of the game, and that's what I think makes us dangerous because you can't really, you know, what's the word, predict what we're going to do. And so I think that just keeps us one step ahead of the defense. But
How often does Hurley say that wasn't a good shot?
to be honest, I don't think he said that yeah, I don't think I've heard him say that once.
That's a good question, actually. That's a good question. I don't think I've heard him say that. That's funny.
Because I think he really just appreciates how hard we're playing on defense, man. And so when you got a coach like that, like, it makes you want to play hard for him. So I definitely commend him for that, and I love him for it. So, yeah.
Warren, there were a couple times you and Frankie exchanged words after offensive possessions, but what were those conversations like? How was it playing with him as a big man?
First of all, that's my brother. Like, we're roommates, and like we could communicate 100 different ways. So like, y'all seen it that way, but it's nothing personal. And like I said, we got like new guys on this team, and we're still grinding out and figuring out a lot of stuff. So that type of stuff is going to happen, and we got to go through that to learn each other's game and all that type of stuff. And we still haven't played our best basketball yet. So So that just goes to show like how dangerous we really could be. But to answer your question, that's all part of the game, and that's my brother, and I love him.
How different are the expectations on the defensive end from where you guys came from? I know Desmond, a couple different programs before now, but how did they compare?
I feel like they were similar. Because they were still similar. It's just the guys that we have here are just, you know, more God gifted than, you know, other teams that I played with before. And so we're athletic, we're tall, and we can communicate really well. And when you have a team like that, we can switch basically everything, which makes things a lot easier. And we have good team chemistry. And so, like, you see Warren and Frankie, you know, maybe yelling at each other or talking to each other. You have to be able to do that while you're in the game, but keep your cool, because when we're playing other really good teams and good poised teams, you're going to make mistakes. So defense is really more communication and effort. So you guys, yeah.
Early talked about depth and being able to put you guys in and out, and maybe not. When he said one guy got over 30 minutes, what do you guys feel like that? And what is the team's mentality kind of going to that, knowing that you're going to go in short spurts and be able to give high effort and high intensity?
That's tough to scout against, because you really don't know who to scout against at, like, the other teams and other teams' position. So I feel like that just really helps us, because it's going to be a different guy's night every game. Like, it could be Dez's night one game, it could be Frankie's night the other game. It doesn't matter. But as long as we get that win, that's all that really matters. But to answer your question, depth, like, I've never really been on a team with this amount of depth in the wing position, and I just feel like it makes us really dangerous because, my fault. What was your question? My fault. My fault.
Well, what's the mentality with shorter spurts and being able to play high intensity with that depth?
You want me to take it?
Yeah, you got it.
Well, I feel like it lets us exert a lot of energy really quickly. It lets us guard people, you know, full court, and really just disrupt their offense. Because I feel like Stanford and Colorado, they, you know, slower offense, like to, you know, move the ball, get back cuts. And if you let teams like that stay comfortable, they'll pick you apart. But that's why I feel like that's our identity. We really like ruffle feathers, really energize, and gonna make you work for everything on offense. So I think that's Coach Hurley definitely emphasized that today, that we want to, from the jump, disrupt everything they want to do, and you're gonna get out quick. So yeah.
Good answer.
For both of you guys, you know, Desmond, you're obviously an all-around scorer, and Warren, you're obviously a rim protector. Who do you emphasize your game after, and like how much do you like preach to those former athletes?
That's a good question. I look at a lot of different guys and take things from a lot of guys, and I just try to make it into one. Because I feel like if you just take one player, that's almost impossible to do, because everybody's different. You're different as a basketball player. So I'd say I take it from just a different group, amount of people, and I watch film on them and take little things from them and put it together.
And Desmond?
Well, Kobe Bryant was my favorite player, rest in peace. And so I definitely model, you know, because I shoot a lot of fades, just, you know, shoot over people. And that's always been my tendencies. But as I matured, I realized, you know, I have teammates, so, you know, I need to pass them on sometimes. And so now it's really, just do whatever is necessary, really. like the higher you get in basketball, you just want to do more. Some people like to focus on specific attributes, but, you know, I feel like the best players can do all-around things, and that's kind of what I'm headed for, because I just want to play at the next level. So whatever I can do to help us win, yeah.
You guys have closed out 2 straight games that were tied or close to it in the final minutes. Now that the season has progressed a little bit, how much of a learning experience was that Texas Southern game?
Man.
Man,
No, we
I
weren't
do
gonna
not
talk
want to
about
talk
that.
about that. That's a bad flashback right there. Man,
I mean,
you got that.
To be honest, everything is a learning experience. I definitely don't like learning from losses, because I learned a lot of stuff from here. Like, I turned the ball over at the end of the game right there, and I'm mad about that, even though we won. I'm still happy, but there's always something to learn from. But yeah, that was just a real tough one, and I was the one who I could have. Yeah,
You're good. Don't even. You're good.